It was a crystal-clear September morning. The sky over New York was a perfect cloudless blue, the kind that promised an ordinary day. But within minutes, the world would change forever. At 8:46 a.m., American Airlines Flight 11 struck the North Tower of the World Trade Center. What began as confusion quickly turned into horror. It was a day that would test the very soul of a nation and prove that even in our darkest moments, the human spirit can shine its brightest light. This is the story of 9/11, the day the world stopped turning. People rushed to their TVs, radios, and phones, desperate for answers. News anchors struggled to report on an event that was simply incomprehensible. Was it a terrible accident? A small plane? No one knew. The city and the world watched in a state of suspended shock. Then, at 9:03 a.m., United Airlines Flight 175 hit the South Tower, live on national television. In that horrifying moment, all doubt vanished. This was not an accident. America was under attack. In those initial moments, panic and disbelief filled the air. In the streets below, a symphony of sirens replaced the usual morning traffic. Office workers who had just started their day now found themselves in a desperate struggle for survival, trying to escape the towers through smoke-filled stairwells. They navigated darkness, heat, and unimaginable fear. Meanwhile, an army of first responders raced towards the very danger everyone else was fleeing. Firefighters, police officers, and paramedics charged into the burning buildings, their only thought to save as many lives as possible. The city became a scene of organized chaos, a battleground where ordinary people were called upon to do extraordinary things. Amid the chaos, courage shined the brightest. Firefighters climbed flight after flight, carrying heavy equipment, their lungs burning, knowing they might never come back down. Police officers and paramedics set up triage centers on the streets, guiding dazed and injured people through the falling debris and smoke. But the heroism wasn't limited to uniformed personnel. Ordinary citizens, strangers, became lifelines for one another. They held hands, carried the injured, and offered comfort in the face of unimaginable terror. Office managers stayed behind to make sure their teams got out. A man with a red bandana became a guardian angel, leading people to safety. These were moments that defined true heroism, revealing the incredible capacity for human goodness even when confronted with the worst of humanity. At 9:59 a.m., the ground trembled. The South Tower, which had been struck second but burned more intensely, could no longer withstand the damage. It fell. The sound, a deafening, horrifying roar, echoed across Manhattan and across the world. The architectural marvel that had defined the New York skyline for decades was gone in just 10 seconds. People on the ground ran for their lives as a monstrous cloud of dust, smoke, and debris consumed lower Manhattan. Just 29 minutes later, at 10:28 a.m., the North Tower followed, collapsing into a mountain of twisted steel and pulverized concrete. Thousands were trapped beneath the rubble. A thick gray cloud of ash covered the city, and a haunting silence replaced the screams. The vibrant heart of the financial world had become a tomb. But the attacks didn't stop in New York. The scale of the coordinated assault was still unfolding. At 9:37 a.m., American Airlines Flight 77 crashed into the western side of the Pentagon in Arlington, Virginia, the very symbol of America's military strength. The impact created a massive fireball and caused a partial collapse of the building, claiming the lives of all on board and 125 people inside. Meanwhile, high above the fields of Pennsylvania, another battle was being waged. Passengers and crew aboard United Airlines Flight 93, having learned about the attacks in New York and Washington through phone calls, decided to fight back. They made the heroic choice to storm the cockpit. Their last known words, "Let's roll," became a rallying cry for a nation. At 10:03 a.m., the plane crashed into a field near Shanksville, Pennsylvania. Their bravery saved countless lives, preventing the terrorists from hitting their intended target, likely the U.S. Capitol. It was a final, powerful act of defiance against terror. The following days were filled with grief, shock, and disbelief. The smoke from Ground Zero lingered in the air for weeks, a constant, painful reminder of the gaping wound in the city's heart and in the nation's psyche. Families waited for calls that never came. The streets of New York were covered with posters of missing loved ones, their smiling faces a heartbreaking contrast to the grim reality. Candlelight vigils were held across the country and around the world, as people gathered to mourn and to try to make sense of the senseless. Yet, from those ashes, a spirit of unity rose. America stood together. One nation, wounded but unbroken. Strangers comforted each other on the streets. Volunteers from every state flocked to Ground Zero to help with the rescue and recovery efforts, working tirelessly on the pile. Blood donation centers were overwhelmed. The American flag appeared on every porch, every overpass, every car. The world wasn't just watching, it was mourning with America. From London to Sydney, people showed their solidarity, proving that in the face of tragedy, humanity could unite as one. 9/11 changed everything. It reshaped how we see safety, freedom, and each other. Airport security was transformed overnight, with new protocols that have become a standard part of modern travel. Global politics shifted dramatically, leading to long-term conflicts and new alliances. The attacks created a post-9/11 generation that grew up in a world where the threat of terrorism felt immediate and real. Every year, on this day, the world stops to remember. We remember the nearly 3,000 innocent lives taken. We remember the families forever changed. We remember the first responders who made the ultimate sacrifice. The 9/11 Memorial and Museum now stands where the towers once did. The twin reflecting pools with waterfalls cascading into the footprints of the original towers offer a space for quiet reflection. And rising above it all is the new One World Trade Center, the Freedom Tower, a symbol of defiance and rebirth. Each name engraved at Ground Zero is a story. A father, a mother, a son, a daughter, a friend. They are a permanent reminder that even in our darkest hours, hope can endure and light will always return. 9/11 will forever be a scar on our collective memory, but it is also a powerful symbol of resilience and strength. We will never forget the lives lost or the heroes who gave everything to save others. Their legacy is one of courage, sacrifice, and the enduring power of the human spirit. If this story moved you, please share it, so that we may all continue to honor those who remind us that courage will always rise from the ashes. Thank you for watching, and please consider subscribing for more stories that matter. We will never forget.